Alrighty, I just came back from school and I was thinking about this today. So I was thinking that I have a brother, okay? Now, we come from the same parents. I take over my dad a lot. Same hair color, eye color, skin color, height-wise, body weight-wise, what else? Kind of just our initial mindsets are the same too. Like we have both very good set of ideological political views. Like we take after each other a lot. And then my brother really takes after my mom with skin color, eye color, hair color. I take more after my dad, and my brother takes more after his mom. So it's weird. I'm gonna see if I can get better lighting. No wonder. I guess we can do that. And so I was just thinking, like, well, he looks nothing like me, sounds nothing like me, is nothing like me, besides down to our genetic code. So even our genetic code's very much different, but we both have the same genetics coming from the same two parents. So I was thinking, well, what if my mother and father had another kid? Well, let's say that's a guy, alright? That son would be another person coming from the same line of genetics from my mom and dad and being yet completely different. And if it was a daughter, it'd be even more different. And if we already have someone coming from the father, more like appearance-wise from the father, and my brother, who'd be more coming from the mother, then a third child, who would that come from? Would it just be kind of like an equal set of both? And if that's the case, aren't I an equal set of both? Isn't he? We both have 24, 23? Sorry, I don't know. I actually don't. 23, 20. Sorry, 23, 22. No. 22, 23, 24 chromosomes. Chromosomes? I don't know. I'm talking about genetics here, and I don't even know this one. Regardless, so, no, not chromosomes. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of getting myself off track here. Anyway, I'll Google it later. So, basically, and I was thinking, like, well, if you were to have another child, what if it was like an Adam and Eve situation? Okay. Adam and Eve, as we know, had thousands of kids. Well, I was thinking, you have two people. Now, also, just to know, I'm going to treat this like an equation. I'm more thinking logically than emotionally here. So I'm about to say, I do not mean it literally. I just mean, hey, what would happen if? So, regardless, you have the same two people who have kids over and over and over again, hundreds of thousands of times. Let's just take off all logic of, like, I know I just said logically, but let's combine fantasy and logic for a second. Let's say you could have hundreds of thousands of kids, which theoretically you could, but regardless, let's say you do. Let's say you have 100,000 kids. Well, each one of those kids looks, sounds, speaks, acts differently. All of them. They are all different, and yet all the same. I mean, why should they be different? They all have the same amount of, I think, chromosomes. They all have the same two parents that pass down their line of, like, genetics. All these things, they should be the same. All the guys and all the girls should be exactly the same. All the guys should take after the father, and all the girls should take after the mother. All the same. Except they're not. Everyone is different. They all have their own different personalities. One's more logical, one's more emotional. One's more hyper, one's more relaxed. One's just a complete a-hole. The other's actually a nice guy. They're all different. And yet, so much they shouldn't be. They should all be the same. So I was thinking, you have 100,000. So how many combinations of people can you make? So you can have 100,000 kids. Well, theoretically, can't you have 100,001? Can't you just keep going? Make another combination? Why not? So if you keep going down that line, even though it's the same two people, you have all of a sudden hundreds of thousands of different people. And I know that sounds obvious. It's like, yeah, they had a kid they had a kid 100,000 times. First of all, I feel bad for the mother, and second of all, it's 100,000 different people. Well, true, but they should all be the exact same. You just made 100,000 different combinations of the exact two people. So, and then if you want to get even further with it, you have, okay, hold on. I was talking about this in the car, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to expand to it. So I'm just kind of talking what I'm thinking here. So bear with me. Let's see. Let's get a piece of paper. Alright. So, you have... you guys, okay. You guys can't see this. Usually I just draw, and then you guys... Can I zoom in? I cannot zoom in selfie mode. Alright, well, deal with it. You have the two people, okay? I don't remember how you draw the... Yeah, okay, you have two people who make one kid, and then you still... Whatever. And then but they make 100,000. They make a ton of kids. Okay, well, you have another two people that make a ton of kids. Well, then that's 100,000 more combinations with two different people. Like, you just took 100,000 combinations from two people. So, like, my mom and dad, they had a ton of kids, like a ton of kids. Then, and everyone's different. You just made so many more combinations. And then if everyone on Earth did the same, there would be so many new combinations. And then let's combine the combinations. Let's have we'll combine these two people. We'll have this girl and this guy here. Okay, well now you have these two people and these two people who made 100 tons of kids. Well, guess what? Now you have a new set of genes from coming from two different people now. Well, guess what? That makes a whole new combination. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. All right. Well, guess what? You got some more people over here. Well, let's have these two people come over, and these two people come over, and a ton. Just a ton. Like, it seems obvious, and this seems stupid saying. Oh, I thought it was bleeding. Saying it, but at the same time, it's like. You could make so many combinations, and then you got the combinations down here. You have all these. I'm bringing it back to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, they had tons of kids, and their kids had kids. It was an inner family relationship that just had to happen. So let's go back to that, and let's say, well, these two siblings have kids. Well, boom, they're gonna have two heads. But guess what? You just created a whole new combination, and then these two people have a ton of kids. Well, it's like, and it just keeps going down the line. It's like so many different combinations of people that just so many of them. Like, what could be? There is no endless. And if there is an end, what is that end? There is, if you can theoretically have sex as much as you possibly want without, like, I don't know, dying from the pain of childbirth or something that many times, might as well just be used to it at that point. Regardless, let's just say you just keep going and you keep making more kids. When does the line stop? If you could theoretically have one family who can, and their entire job was to just kids. You know what? Yeah, let's make this a little more sci-fi. Let's make this a little more David. You have the world here, okay, and above the world you have one family. Well, two people, a married couple. We'll call them Adam and Eve. No, but we'll call them just two people who, in their entire job, they can live forever, but their entire job is to make as many kids as possible. And that's what they do, okay? Think about not just the amount of people that is. Screw the amount of people. Just think about how many different combinations. Everyone's different. Think of, like, everyone and how it's, like, just all different, and everyone, like, just think about that. Think about how everyone would be different, and just think about all the combinations that could be made from just two people. And then with 8 billion people on this planet, think about how many people of all, like, just take 2 people, okay, from just random, just get all, let's say it's an even 8 billion, we'll get 2 people all the time, and through that all 8 billion, just their entire job's to have kids for 10 years, and then swap some combinations. And then just think about how many new people could be created from that. And then down the line, just think about how many could be created. That, to me, is insane. Of just, like, how it's possible to keep creating someone new over and over, even though it's the exact same 2 people creating them. So, every time I do this, I always forget to get water because I talk too much. But regardless, y'all, see ya.